Welcome into Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium for tonight's edition of Friday Night Football here on ICRC TV and ICRCTV.com. Tonight, we've got the Battle of the Skies as the Sycamore Aviators come to Mason to play the Mason Comets. Greg Miller along with Steve Parker. Now, Steve, in a 6-game season, every game's big, but with it being a rivalry game and senior night for the Comets, just how important is this game for both teams?
Well, for the Comets, they got to stay on pace. They got to pick up a victory, stay on pace, stay tied with Lakota West and Princeton for league championship. So this is huge. Playoff points are going to be big here. However, if we talk about for Sycamore, they just need to get on track. They got shut out last week at Lakota West. So very important for both teams. League game, only a 6th game.
Yeah, Mason coming in 3-0, Sycamore 1-2. Steve, what are the keys for the Comets to come away with a win and go to 4-0?
Well, more importantly, they got to just control the clock and control the ball. They've got some high-powered offense over at Sycamore that wasn't shown last week. So Mason, just control the ball, play your game, and again, keep the ball out of the hands of Fair and Engel for Sycamore.
Yeah, and for Sycamore, you know, as you mentioned last week, 33-0. What do they got to do to get this offense going?
They got to go back to what they know, which is get Fair and Engel involved. Neither player had an exceptional game last week at that shutout at Lakota West, so they need to get both those guys involved, get them some blocking, and try to diversify the offense a little bit.
Yeah, Engel, the top running back for Sycamore, second in the league with 344 rush yards and 6 touchdowns. Does have 4 fumbles, though. On the Mason side, what do the Comets got to do to stop that high-powered offense?
Well, I mean, I'm sure, Greg, that they've watched a lot of film on what Lakota West did with him. They held him to 29 total yards. I mean, he came out in week 1 and for 198 yards in week 1. And then subsequently he went to 110 in the loss versus Princeton, and then the loss of Lakota West, he only came up with 35. So again, for Mason, I think Jackson Orlando is probably going to be shadowing this Engel guy.
Yeah, Orlando, 8 tackles last year and a rushing touchdown, so he's been kind of the stalwart of that defense as they go in through the rest of this game. Well, the band's getting ready here to start the national anthem, so we'll get it down to the field here, and we will be right back with you as we have, of course, the Mason grad and the Sycamore grad as we call the Battle of the Skies.
Battle for the Skies, man. Come on.
We'll be right back here with Friday Night Football on ICRC TV and ICRCTV.com.
Online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC TV.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer: men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question: so where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer: high school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I just wanted to play. I just want to play.
I just want to play. I just want to play.
Play. Play. Along the way, I'm learning sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
How to work hard.
How to work hard. Discipline.
Hustle.
Sacrifice.
How to be a leader.
Dedication.
I just want to play.
And along the way, I'm learning to put the team before myself.
To put the team before myself.
How to be a student.
How to be a student.
I'm learning
to set a good example.
How to work hard.
To accept responsibility.
That I represent my community.
That I represent my community.
I just wanted to play, and look where it took me.
She's done it! Tiana Bartoletta has done it! From Elyria, Ohio, now an Olympic gold medalist.
Both teams have taken the field. We're just about ready to get the season underway.
ICRC Friday Night Football. We are back here.
Brings a tackle at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings.
Side, he's looking for Hughes. Hughes has the separation. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Stop. And it's going to be a big six by the Aviators.
Aviators, touchdown.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Holy cow.
Stadium as the Comets are taking the field here for the Battle of the Skies. Sycamore at Mason. Greg Miller along with Steve Parker. Now, Steve, this game, though only week 4 in this abbreviated 6-game schedule, is senior day for the Comets. How do you think that changes the complexion of this game for Mason, playing with maybe a little added emotion tonight?
Well, you know, again, they got to have a win, Greg, to stay at the top of the league with Princeton and Lakota West. But more importantly, it's a battle for the trophy for the Battle of the Skies. This is one of those trophy games. This is one of those teams that if you drive down Snyder Road, you can see a bunch of these guys. So these guys probably run into each other at Silver Spring House, maybe play a little summer basketball or a little summer baseball together. So these border wars are important. But here in week 4, I mean, everybody's going to go to the playoffs, but the important thing is to have a good seed. And the Comets want to win their league and get as many wins as they can, so they'll face a lower seed team. They might even see Sycamore again in the playoffs, depending upon how things go.
Yeah, Sycamore just trying to get back on track. As we mentioned earlier, early season win versus Lakota East, but dropping back-to-back games versus GMC Powers, Princeton, and Lakota West, 33-0 last week. Steve, how is Sycamore going to get back on track during a rivalry game on the road? Maybe not quite as raucous of an atmosphere as you're used to seeing during this season, but how are they going to do it?
Well, Scott Titillo basically is probably told his team all week, look, we're going to watch this shutout film once, and then we're going to concentrate on what we did good in week 1 and 2. They played an excellent game at Princeton and ended up losing down at Pat Mancuso Field late in the game. So they played a really good game against a surprisingly tough Princeton squad. They just want to get back to the basics. Look, Fair and Angle aren't going to light everything up, but they're good, consistent players. Each one of them been averaging. Fair's been averaging a little over 100 a game in throwing, and Engel's been averaging over 100 a game in running. Go back to the basics. Block and tackle and control the ball. I think for both teams, hang on to the ball, play within yourself, don't cause turnovers, and really eliminate the mistakes. That's what's been killing Sycamore the last couple of weeks. Mistakes and bad luck.
Yeah, and we look just about ready to get things kicked off here. Sycamore looking to kick off to the Comets. That's senior Sebastian Salas getting ready to put a right foot forward to this one. Comets are back to receive. That's Iverson Borders and Kobe Lewis back to receive.
Boy, he found
Kick
a
is
slot.
returned back to about the 30.
Not bad at all. Again, that's senior Irishman Border. Seems like he's been returning kicks for 3 or 4 years here, but just always does a great job.
Yeah, Borders will give the Comets good starting field position as junior quarterback Michael Molnar will lead the Comets out. Molnar was in a QB battle to start the season, but won it over in their first game versus Fairfield and has been in control of this Comets offense since then.
And the thing I like about him, Greg, is he plays within himself. I've only seen him force one ball all year.
He starts off in the shotgun with McCormick to his left, and he'll actually go back to pass. A little bit of pressure.
Come on, catch it.
Gets the ball over to Wexelblatt.
Hit him in the wrong spot 3 times in the hands, Greg.
Just not able to corral that one in, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Comets. Taking a look at the Comets offense, of course, that offensive line led by big number 78, Paul Rodriguez.
All starts there. It all starts there. Those guys can control the tempo, the battle of the trenches.
Yeah, and those trenches hopefully will be filled with number 22, Nolan McCormick, the senior running back and really the leader of this Mason offense.
Super consistent player. Loved watching his career.
It's actually going to be a fake to McCormick, but Sycamore seems to snuff that out pretty quickly. About 3 Aviators there to corral Molnar, and it'll be 3rd and long here. Mason has had some slow starts, and it looks like they might be getting out to another one as they face 3rd and long here.
Yeah, I think, maybe the wiser play that time, Greg, would have been to give the ball to McCormick.
Looks like we got the Sycamore Aviators offense, which may be out here in just a second if they can make this stop. But you look at the defense here, running the 3 defensive linemen out there. Kyle Heaton in the middle. He's one of those guys that's already caused some issues.
You can read that wide against the yellow? And we got some type of discussion between, did Sycamore take a timeout?
Yeah, Sycamore taking an early timeout. Something going on, maybe personnel issue or not liking the setup there, but they'll call an early timeout here, 3rd and long for the Comets.
Yeah, I know the Comets made a few adjustments there. Maybe they were bringing a look that they weren't used to.
Yeah, and early in this game, especially for Sycamore, every drive imperative as they try to get back into their winning ways, so don't want to take any chances here.
Hammy Pickett.
Always go to the old guys. Well, let's see what we got here then. So, still 3rd and 10 though, Greg. I mean, what are they going to dial up? They've been running a lot of flare-out passes where they got a blocker out in front of the guy that catches the pass. I don't know if they're going to dial that one up. Let's see if they've got twins out there. Nope, they got it squared up. So,
yeah, Comets not really the biggest throwing team. Molnar coming into the game, only 31 pass attempts, but he'll drop back here.
Way to shake
break
off the
tackle, and he'll try to take it himself. Coming up about 2 yards short here, but Molnar looked like he was a dead duck back there, but able to break a couple tackles and make something positive happen for the Comets.
Yeah, way to feel the heat, step up through it, try to do something positive. But again, like you said, slow start. Let's see if we can get a good kickoff and at least try to pin them back there for the Comets.
You always got to wonder, though, with running back Nolan McCormick as the punter, you wonder 4th and 2 here if they try anything tricky. They will not. McCormick gets the right foot boot out there.
Nice low driver.
Takes a couple bounces, and it'll be a very nice punt for McCormick. Sycamore will be very backed up, starting at about their own 10-yard line here as Andrew Fair and the Sycamore offense comes back out here. Steve, you mentioned trying to get Fair and Engel back going after the offense kind of laid an egg against obviously a very stout Lakota West defense last week.
Yeah, I mean, Engel, starting the year, and maybe they read his press clippings where he ran for 199, but then he's got, then 110, and then, again, under 30. So the idea is just let's start it, let's get it moving. And just like I thought, Jackson Orlando is right there to track him down and knock him down with a whole host of other Comets.
Yeah, that's Engel up the middle, just trying to miss a couple tackles, but gets wrapped up by a number of Comet defenders.
Tough sledding. And again, Sycamore, again, week 1, did great. But, again, I think their offensive line has lost a lot of confidence. Those guys just need to dig in and knock some fellas around. Now, Mason not the biggest along the defensive front, but very athletic. Guys that can shed blocks, that can fill gaps and do the proper things so that the linebackers make all the plays. So let's see what they do here. Yeah, we got a sub going in, Rodriguez going in, because it looks like we've got an equipment failure on number 65.
Yeah, that is Joe Reed, the D-tackle senior, so he'll be subbed out real quick, and Sycamore will take advantage, getting a quick, about 12-yard gain out there. That's Cairo Ford, the junior, on that run, and that'll move the chains for our first down of the night.
Ford, a very shifty runner. Does a lot of kick return. Is starting to see maybe they're going to try to mix it up. Maybe they know that Mason's going to key on Engel a little bit and try to loosen things up for Engel. Give Ford a carry every now and then. That's a way to open up the offense.
Interesting formation out here in the pistol. They'll hand it off to Engel right up the middle, break a couple tackles.
It puts the ball on the ground. Comets get on it.
See us.
Heads up play by the offensive lineman.
That's picked up by Tyler Engel, the senior. He'll recover that one, but you can see stripped there for Engel. That's actually his 5th fumble of the year, so certainly as explosive as he can be, has some trouble holding on to the ball, and you've seen it here early.
But still a first down, though, for the Aviators.
They'll run a little bit of action here, fake the handoff, and then give it to Ford again. But he's wrapped up pretty quickly. Only get a couple yards there, and it'll be 2nd down for the Aviators.
I like that play, though. Again, that keeps the defensive ends honest, Greg. Especially, when you run that jet sweep, so they're not going to dive down to the middle to try to stop Engel from, cutting off tackle. So it keeps everybody honest that you got to play that wide contain.
Yeah, it certainly seems early, like you said. They're trying to make sure Mason can't just key in on Engel the whole time. But he's in the backfield here to the left of Fair. Fair will drop back to pass for the first time tonight. And that'll be knocked down. I believe that was one of the linebackers. Was that Orlando?
Yeah, maybe we can catch it on tape. I thought maybe Rodriguez got one of those big mitts up as he's still in there.
And that's tough when you have, big Paul Rodriguez back there, 6'6". He's certainly a guy that can cause some havoc in the backfield. Third down for Sycamore.
Big third down, too.
3rd and about 8 for him. Fair back. He's going to run the quarterback draw, and there's a lot of room up there. And he'll get more than what he needs to get the first down there.
Yeah,
looked like Caden Evans there to make the tackle.
That was nice because Fair came back. By the time he set his feet, he had some guys breathing down on him, so he just tucked it down. He had a nice lane to run in and just tucked it down and got close to midfield.
Yeah, Sycamore now 2 first downs, starting to move the ball a little bit as we come in under 8 minutes here in the first quarter. Mason starting with a 3 and out. Now Sycamore starting a drive here as they get close to midfield. Farrell handed out to
Ford.
Cairo Ford again, and he'll get just a few yards. But once again, Ford playing a pretty big part of this offense. He's had 3 carries already.
Well, I like the fact that he comes off the edge, and he does a great job. But when he gets out there in space, he tries to turn everything up. And what looked to be a really congested play got him a little over 4 yards.
Yeah, so it'll be 2nd and 6 here for Sycamore as they have just moved into Mason territory at the 48-yard line. Some motion here as they hand it right up the middle to Engel.
Way to fight.
Fighting for some extra yards, and he'll be right up by another first down. Joe Reed back in there trying to make the tackle, but Engel's pretty big running back, able to keep those feet moving and get a first down.
I like what they did is they basically quarterback waved the H-back over, or the extra tight end over. He came over and set up at fullback and just blasted through there to give Engel a lane to run into. Aviators are marching, man, slowly but surely.
Yeah, Aviators come out here, 4 wide receivers, Fair back to throw. Throw over the middle, maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Yeah, because, I mean, Ford broke one way and Fair saying, no, you need to go this way. So, I mean, you knew it as soon as they saw it. I mean, Ford turned around with his palms open saying, what? And then Fair's just pointing at him going, So.
Yeah, a little early miscommunication here. Unfortunately, in a shortened season like this, you don't have quite all the time that you would normally have to get things like that kind of put together.
6 weeks compared to 10. I mean, let's face it, that's 40% less games.
Fair gonna hand it off for about 3 yards there. I believe that was Cairo Ford again on the carry.
Yeah, so again, maybe they're gonna start featuring him, I don't know, but.
Did have Engel spread out to the left there, maybe trying to get the defense kind of keying in different areas.
Well, if I know Coach Scott Totillo, one time he's going to fake that jet sweep and watch Engel. He's going to run a pass play, and I can just see him run a sideline just straight down to the flag.
See here, 2 backs here behind Farrell in the 3-point stance. Fair back to pass. He'll throw it.
Nice throw. Really good throw. He got drilled after he threw it, but, you know, what I like the fact is he didn't lock in on one receiver. He scanned the field, then he knew where that guy was going to be, looked back to him and drilled an absolute dart.
Yeah, and you can see the dart there by Fair.
Look left, look left, look left, boom.
That's Alex Van Hoos with the catch, his first catch of the night.
That was a nice pop though by the big guy.
Yep. 1st and 10 here for Sycamore as they've starting from their own 10-yard line. Now have it at the 30, but there'll be a quick flag here.
Some type of motion.
The call from the far side looks to be offsides.
Oh, on defense.
Yeah, it looked to be at the top of the screen. The top end corner looked to get a little bit too quick of a jump.
But you're a corner, son. You don't need to play near the line.
I believe that was Iverson Borders that maybe got a little bit quick of a jump, maybe trying to do a little press coverage there.
A little senioritis probably, maybe, huh?
Certainly could be.
Good to see Joe Reed back in there at the defensive tackle spot, though.
Yeah, able to get whatever early equipment issue was causing him issues.
He's got the manager with the pliers and the screwdriver, man. Put that usually a chin strap or a clasp comes unloose because, you know, you never check that stuff, right?
Yeah, sometimes that stuff can cause some issues early, and it looks like Sycamore will call their 2nd timeout already.
Well, you know, we had talked when we set up this game, Greg, it's really important for Sycamore to get back on track, and what they're doing now was a key that I said was formation, which was control the ball, control the clock. And they got the ball with what, about 8.5 to go?
Yep.
And they've eaten up over 4 minutes of clock here, and they've got a first down and 5. So they're going to open up the playbook here. You know that play I talked about before? Let's see if they run that. Fake that wide sweep to Ford and try to get the ball into Engel or at least somebody else.
Yeah, we'll see what head coach Scott Totillo has for the Aviators here as they come back out 1st and 5 as they've been going on an extended drive starting at their own 10-yard line. now knocking on the doorstep of the red zone.
Comets need time to stiffen up.
Fair back in the shotgun by himself. Be interesting to see if there's any sort of motion here. And there's a snap behind Fair, and he'll just jump on it, not try to make any sort of extra play, but he'll be all the way back. Looks like a loss of about 17 there, all the way backed up to the 42-yard line.
I'd love to see that on replay. Did Fair pull his head, or was the snap that low? Oh, the snap was off target, but Fair was busy watching the motion guy and then being set for the ball. He raised his left hand like he was ready for it, but man, just unfortunate thing. Sometimes the old turf monster grabs that ball when you're trying to snap it.
Yeah, so that'll cost them quite a bit, 17 yards. So it'll go from 1st and 5 to 2nd and 22. Two in the backfield for Fair. He'll look to pass here. Under some pressure, able to get out.
Yeah, I think Big Joe got hooked.
And Orlando there to make the tackle, but you do see a couple flags behind the play.
Andrew Fair was the ball carrier. Jackson Orlando brought him down for Comets.
Yeah, if we can catch that replay. While Fair's stepping up, I think you could catch Joe Reed getting hooked.
Yeah, and they are calling holding there, so that'll make 2nd and long, 2nd and longer as we look at the replay here.
Let's see if it was Reed or the no. Yeah. See, there was a handful of jersey where the guy was trying to get Joe Reed off my quarterback.
Well, sometimes there you're in a tough position as an offensive lineman, either hold or allow the big sack there, and they took the grab a fistful of jersey, and it'll cost them 10 yards. Now 2nd and 32.
But the quarterback's still standing. That's the important thing.
Fair back to throw. He'll look right. That pass just a little bit tall.
Well, you could call it tall. You know, a lot of times guys jump for balls. They don't need to jump. All they got to do is go up with their hands. You know, again, go up and make the big teepee and just let the point of the ball come inside the teepee. I think he heard the footsteps coming, actually. And like all quarterbacks think, hey, man, it hits you in the hands. That's a catch. Come on, pull it in.
Wide receiver Cannon Ray that couldn't come up with that one. And now 3rd and very long for the Aviators. We're at one point all the way down at the Mason 25. Now back in their own territory for 3rd and very long. Looks like a design draw here.
Just contain him.
Fair will get some yards back, but still 4th and about 21.
He was getting up a little momentum there, though. I'm glad somebody finally dove at his ankles.
Yeah, a couple Mason tacklers able to stop him well short of the 1st down.
Wow, and that's
quick pooch punt there.
Yeah, that's kind of tight quarters. I mean, it was Fair that was kicking it, so you know they could have tried to run something else, but yeah, tight quarters. I think it might even have hit off of somebody's hands.
Yeah, he was just in a little bit of a deep shotgun, not as deep as you would normally find the punter, and doesn't even get the ball past the 1st down lineup. And
yeah, I mean, you know, he had some guys breathing heavy on him. Now, Michael Molnar, let's take a deep breath and do everything the way we're supposed to do it now. Come on, make your reads right. Give it when you need to. Keep it when you have to.
Mason into the 2nd possession, 3 and out their 1st time. Molnar will hand it off to McCormick and look to be a little bit of room, but he gets stuffed up pretty quickly. Only about a gain of 3 there for Noah McCormick.
Tough guy McCormick, though, is designed. He's used to running in between the tackles. I don't like seeing quarterbacks running in between the tackles. But now McCormick, he's used to playing that pinball game.
McCormick seems to be one of those guys that kind of takes him a little while to get going in the game. You know, against Fairfield, had a big second half, 75-yard or 80-yard touchdown. So see if he can start to get going here early on 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I love the way he runs. You know, again, a very patient runner. Waits for the hole to open up, and then when he hits it with a vengeance, and boy, that was dangerous.
Yeah, that ball tipped by sophomore Dylan Dye for the Aviators. Molnar looking to his left, and once again some big mitts come up and forces Mason into another quick 3rd down.
I think that's why he's on defense. Got his hand on it, but didn't catch it.
Yeah, they usually will call that, especially when you're a linebacker. Don't exactly put you out there to catch the ball. And
hit him in the wrong place, right in the hands.
We'll see what Mason has up their sleeves here for 3rd down and 7. Trying to avoid their 2nd straight 3 and out.
Get out there, get out there.
Under some pressure. Able to get a couple of yards, but not a whole lot of room there, as he's pushed out of bounds short of a 1st down, and it'll be 4th down again for the Comets.
Molnar had to work real hard just to get what he could get there. And again, Comets just seem to be, I don't know, looks like some guys are playing on roller skates. They're not digging in, they're not pushing everybody around.
Yeah, defensive end Tom Kwan, senior, number 52, in there quick, providing quite a bit of pressure, making Molnar have to get out of the pocket. Noel McCormick back to punt for his 2nd time tonight.
How about another good one? Another big roller. Nice.
Wonder if he touched the ball. It looked like there might have been a quick touch by the punt returner, but able to get on the ball quickly for Sycamore and avoid disaster there early. That was number 4, Rashid Harris, who was able to jump on the ball quickly. Normally a corner, but playing back here as we look at the replay.
Harris, Johnny, on the spot on this one, man. I still think Ford short-armed it. I don't think he even touched it. So, but that's kind of a dangerous play. You know, if you're going to go for that, if it's that up high, I mean, put up the fair catch sign. You know, I mean, guys are bearing down, and you never want to try to make a play over your shoulders. Really didn't know where he was at the point.
Fair, running a play action pass.
Got a guy.
Deep pass.
Wow.
And just past the outstretched hands of Cairo Ford. Trying to make another deep catch there, and just a little bit too far.
But he had, the important thing for Sycamore is he had both guys beat. I mean, he had them beat well by a step and a half. Let's watch this again. Fair, nobody near him. He had one guy bearing down on him, steps up and delivers an absolute seed that Ford just can't catch up to.
Yeah, now 2nd down and 10 for the Aviators. Aviators had a long drive their first time that was derailed by a bad snap and a penalty, so they'll get it for their 2nd time of the night here on 2nd down and 10. They're running a little quarterback keeper.
We got defense offsides again. So we're going to cut them a break, and they're going to have 2nd and 5.
2nd offsides of the night for the Comets, so they'll turn it from 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 5, and I'm sure the Comets will hope for another repeat of the play that followed the offsides last time. Last time there was an offsides, 1st and 5, and then a bad snap that cost Sycamore 17 yards. We'll see what happens this time.
One of those a game gives your defensive coordinator heartburn. 2 of them makes the vein in his head start throbbing. I hate to see what happens on number 3. Stay on sides, Comets.
Fair with another design quarterback run.
Way to turn him back.
Able to set the edge there for the Comets, and able to bring Fair back to the inside, and that'll force 3rd and about 4 here, 3rd and 3.
Great defensive stand here. Look, guys aren't playing free agents now. They're filling their gaps. They're clogging it up, and then letting the linebackers go clean it up. Of course, Big Joe's got to get a mid on somebody.
Sycamore will set up 3rd and 3, and
Wow, that's that big right tackle on the ground too, I believe, number 77. Yeah, it's Jordan Hale Frater, the big junior tackle. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Hey, Greg, could we have better weather for a Friday night football game, though, huh?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, you start to get that little bit of winter air here. It finally feels like football weather after a couple of scorchers to start the season.
Well, yeah, it makes it a little bit easier to wear this personal protection stuff, you know, when it's kind of crisp and cool outside. But
yeah.
A beautiful night, you see the sun streaming right on us.
Yeah, trying to get maybe the sun to drop just a little bit more to get a better view of the field.
Oh,
but
come on, we're starting to be policemen. We're saluting all game, man, just so we can see you out there.
Well, looks like Hale Frater is off the field, able to walk off under his own power, so Sycamore will come back out onto the field.
Hopefully it was just a cramp. But yeah, let's look and see how the replacement tackle on the right side does. Not a bad move.
Engel able to get up near the first down, and it looks like he does get it by about a half a yard.
Yeah, they're going to
moving the chains for the Aviators. Looks to be the replacement on the right side, getting some nice push. Kyle Keaton coming on, number 55. You can see him kind of cleaning up some blocks there. As we run just about 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have to snap it at least once, Greg.
First and 10 for Sycamore. Fair looking to his left, and that ball will go right through the hands, and looks like they'll have to run one more play as the clock stopped with 13.3 seconds left. Looking for Alec Van Hoos again on that one.
Yeah, let's see that replay. You know, it looked like Fair really put a little zip on that thing. I want to see if Van Hoos actually had a chance to catch that thing. You know, a lot of times when guys come out of breaks, Greg, they come out of breaks and their hands are down by their waist. When you come out of your break, you got to at least be waist level with your hands so that you can spread those fingers out and throw those hands up so you can catch that thing.
Second and 10 for Fair, looking up the middle. That's Engel, and he looks to have
right there at the first down marker.
Just about enough for the first down here as we wind down the last couple seconds of the first quarter here. After one here at Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium, it's Sycamore 0, Mason 0. So we'll throw it to break real quick. We will be right back here for quarter number 2 of Friday Night Football here on ICRC TV.
Hey, sports fan! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
Welcome back to Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium for Friday Night Football on ICRC TV. Greg Miller along with Steve Parker as we start the second quarter of a special edition senior night in Battle of the Skies between the Sycamore Aviators and the Mason Comets.
Speaking of those skies, if you saw that camera shot when we came back from break, I don't think there's a cloud up there tonight, buddy.
None that we can see up here from the booth. Just a beautiful night, as we said in the first quarter. Just perfect football weather.
In the high 60s, you know, hit mid to high 60s. Soon as that sun sets over that visitors box over there at the top of the stands, We're probably going to need to whip out our windbreakers, man.
Okay, fall finally here for some fall football. Only taken, 4 weeks into the 6-week season to get here as Sycamore sets up 2nd and 7.
Oh, he's got a great lane.
We'll give it right to Engel. He'll break a couple tackles and keep rumbling forward. Big gain for Sycamore all the way down to the Mason 31.
Jax Hutchinson. First down, Sycamore.
And it looks like here, Steve, finally getting Engel started.
Yeah, nice counter block. I mean, they had that hole sealed up. They had an extra lineman dancing through the hole just looking for somebody to hit. See number 64? Come here, linebacker, come here.
Yeah, that's right guard Trey Bell looking for anyone to block as that hole he could have driven a truck through. 1st and 10 now for Sycamore as they've had their second nice drive of the night. Engel starting to get things going, but there's going to be a flag at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, I think somebody reached in and got him on a mask.
Yeah, and Sycamore looks to be clapping on the offensive sideline, so. Yep, and that'll be 1st down for Sycamore.
So they put a little extra on it. Again, this is unique what we saw last week, Greg. They're spotting a beanbag marker. The ball stays with the center the entire time. So you'll see that the marker's out there and the center will just carry the ball up with him.
Yeah, once again, another one of those health and safety additions that they have, trying to get the least amount of people to touch the football as possible. So center will carry the ball out. Get it back to Fair, who hands it off to Engel again.
That time they read it.
Comets were ready for that one.
And who's down there? The guy said he was going to be looking for him all night.
Yeah, Orlando had 6 tackles last year. Looks to be about halfway there already. I believe that's his 3rd or 4th tackle of the night.
Okay, now without the sun beating on my eyes, I can see the white graphic inside the yellow bar.
3-yard gain on that first down run.
It's tough when you got green and white versus green and yellow. Got to figure out some color to have them in. So the white on yellow. Hopefully you guys can see that at home. Another flag on the outside here. Things starting to get a little bit sloppy here as there's another flag.
Well, but it's getting sloppy on the Sycamore side now as there's a hold. Again, I like the idea of giving Ford the ball, but I don't know. He's just trying to get outside. But you see right there, number 5 is just, he's got his arm straight up in the air because the guy's holding him underneath his shoulder pad.
Yeah, that's 38, the H-back tight end, Colin Farrell, that had some arms on the outside, and that'll be I believe the 2nd holding call on Sycamore tonight. Set him up back now for a 2nd and 17. Sycamore once again getting into the Mason, deep into Mason territory, but then getting some penalties.
Oh, they had it set up too. Oh, I tell you what, if Fair takes a little bit off of that and floats that in, if we can see that on the replay, they let a few selected Mason defenders come in there, but I tell you what, all he would have had to do is get the rock to Engel, and he would have scampered, and he had 4 blockers out in front of him. Great way to set up that.
The little bubble screen there for him.
It would have been perfect.
But just a little bit too hard. A nice, safe play there, but doesn't go Sycamore's way. And now it's 3rd and very long, 3rd and 17.
I like the Comets. They came with the pursuit, and they came extremely hard.
Fair getting to the outside, but getting bared down by Orlando. He'll complete the pass to Van Hoos, but Van Hoos will actually, I believe, because he kind of ran backwards, will actually lose a yard on that.
Lost a yard and a half. So now if you're Coach Scott DeTillo, I don't know what your kicking game looks like. You got to have a thunderfoot to hit it from 45 plus. I mean, what do you do here? I mean, do you go for the long shot and try and leave them decent position?
Looks like they are sending the field goal kicker out there.
We're looking at 47.
Sebastian Salas, the senior, setting up from 47 here on the right hash. Snap is down, kick is up, and That's pretty short, not even making it to the end of the end zone, and now that'll give the Comets pretty good field position.
Well, you said the kick was up, but he never got up, man. He got it off, but he just didn't get any lift on it. I mean, let's face it, he hit it hard enough because we heard the thump from up here, but he just never got any air under it. And I don't think it got above the crossbar the entire way down.
Yeah, sometimes trying to kick those long kicks, they'll just try to hit it hard and get the line drive, but as you mentioned, that's more college kicker range than it is high school kicker, unless you got someone with a really big leg.
Hey, Greg, we can look across the field without squinting now. Sun just dipped over the edge over there.
Thankfully, and we'll look on to Mason. 2 3-and-outs to start. We'll see what they do on their third drive. McCormick, his best run of the night so far, getting 5 yards, and maybe getting something started here for the Comets as they go to 2nd and 5.
You know, I like that play. I'd like to see McCormick try to get him a little bit further outside. Because Sycamore is basically just stacking the box. They're daring McCormick to run in between the tackles.
Yeah, nice little counter there to kind of give him some space. Sycamore's definitely been bearing down on the quarterback.
They've got 10 guys within, 5 yards of the center. I mean, they're playing a very tight formation.
Run to McCormick, and this time far less room. Maybe yard and a half there, but not a whole lot of space, as you mentioned. A lot of Sycamore defenders around the ball.
It sure has taken a lot of shots to pick up 1.5. But, it's still manageable here. Like I said, I'd like to see him open up a little bit.
They'll give him 2 here, so it'll be 3rd down and 3. Comets trying to get their first down of the night, as we're here just about 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Mason offense hasn't really gotten started yet tonight. Trying not to go 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs.
Safe pass. Good job.
Molnar out looking to his left. He's got some room. Getting taken down inside the 30-yard line. That's a big play for the Comets. And they'll get the ball into tight end Nick Molinari, who had a lot of room out there on the left side, Steve.
Well, what I like is very safe throw.
Oh. Quick snap there. Molnar able to corral it, but maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Comets trying to catch Sycamore off with a little bit of a quick game, a little bit of hurry up. But not going their way. You can see here, Steve.
Yeah, simple square out, safe pass, but then he gets a wall. He sidesteps one guy, and he just puts it. Molinari does a great job of putting his head down and says, okay, I'm going to tuck it away, get as many as I can.
And big play there, as we mentioned, just the first down for the Comets, and boy, was it a big one.
Again, the play action sets all that stuff up, frees the linebackers, keeps the guys away from the tight end or the H-back, but great route run by Molinari.
It's like a little bit of conversation there with the Mason bench and the referee, maybe trying to fix something up. I don't know if it was a conversation about the hurry up or what exactly was going on there, but Mason will get started 2nd and 10. Molnar, kind of a late decision to hand it off to McCormick, but McCormick's still able to get a number of yards there and set up 2nd and about 4.
But if we got it on the replay, look how patient McCormick is. He waits, he sees where the seam is, does a nice jump cut, gets in one angle, and then turns it upfield. Always ends up turning upfield once he gets cleanly through the hole.
That was my mistake. After the quick first down where they were not able to get any yards, this is actually going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Comets at the 19-yard line. Molnar handing it off to McCormick on the outside.
Get to corner.
He looks to have the corner and have the first down here, as looks like the Comets offense starting to wake up, and of course all starting with McCormick.
Okay, and a couple of plays back, you'll recall me saying, hey, they're starting to stack the box. Let's get him outside. That time he got outside. Yeah, really patient, working his way out there. It's okay, now I'm going to turn it up. Let me just get my shoulders down, get what I need to get. and live to carry it again. Great job by Nolan McCormick.
And McCormick, a guy that can run inside the tackles, but you can see his speed on the outside there, able to outrun a defender and be able to turn the corner. McCormick now showing some of the strength there in between the tackles.
That's been his bread and butter for 2.5, 3 years. It's just patient running, let the blocks develop in front of him, and then as guys are being knocked backwards, you can knock them back. They can't tackle you if they're falling backwards. They can hang on to you, but they can't tackle you. And he's dragging a few guys with him.
I was going to say, you can see him dragging a few on most of those runs. Able to spread the defense out there a little bit, Steve, as, creating some holes in the middle. Not quite stacking the box as much as Sycamore was earlier.
Yeah, and now they're going to go ahead and try to thin it out even more so Molnar can get in.
Molnar takes it up the middle for the touchdown, putting the Comets on the board here with just 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Touchdown, Comets.
I really like that, Greg, because right before, I apologize, I made the call for you, but they spread everything out. 2 guys wide left, 2 guys wide right, and then fake it to McCormick to get the linebackers to bite, and a great run by the quarterback Molnar to get it in.
Yeah, 3rd rushing touchdown of the year for Molnar. Puts the Comets on top 6-0. Michael Timetz on for the extra point, and that'll go through to make it 7-0 Comets. As we take a look here for that touchdown by Molnar, and setting up with McCormick, and now Molnar able to just run it right in on the quarterback keeper, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, good sensibility. Play within yourself, Michael. What I really like about it, though, is that drive, right? Again, let's be patient. Let's hold the ball. Let's grind down the clock. Sycamore's going to get it back. Not a whole lot of time left, but that's the Comets offense that we know there. Be patient. Don't try to do too much. Take what the defense gives you. Knock them around a little bit. Eat up some clock. But really, more importantly, come away with 6 or 7.
Yeah, they were helped, of course, by the one big pass to Nick Molinari, but aside of that, definitely leaning on the rushing game. McCormick sets them up. Molnar runs it in, and it's 7-0 Comets as a low bouncing kick.
And Engel's back there too. Get him down.
Engel dragging 3 or 4 Comets all the way outside as you see things getting a little chippy down there, but Engel, a very big returner.
And here comes the flag, and I'll guarantee you that the referee got it on the Mason guy because he's the one that shoved it back. The guy that gets called isn't the guy that makes the first shove, it's the guy that shoves back.
Yeah, and we've seen that a couple times this year. I know I was calling the Fairfield Mason game, and always see the second guy. Oh, no, and they're actually going to call it. Oh, nope, they're calling it on both players, so he did see both penalties there.
I agree with that call. Hey, you guys are getting chippy. Shut up and let's play football.
Yeah, and we'll see the replay here after Engel drags about 3 players out of bounds.
Yeah, and there it is. There's just a little extracurricular at the end. Maybe talking smack,
A couple guys going after each other. As Engel gets the ball, but is curled up pretty quickly by Mason. Only a gain of 2 there, 1 there maybe?
Yeah, maybe 1. Yeah, we'll call it 1, but that's tough sledding, man.
Yeah, and Engel a big back, but aside of a couple runs there, has been held up pretty nicely by that Mason defensive line, and especially big number 65, Joe Reed.
Well, Joe Reed's slamming him, and Nick Wadsworth is chasing them all down there from the defensive line. I mean, I've seen that guy. He's running sideline to sideline from that defensive tackle position.
Oh, quick little screen, but it's picked off. And that will go all the way to the house. Bryce Falk, the sophomore, not fooled by the screen pass there and able to pick off Andrew Fair. It's a defensive touchdown for the Comets, scoring 2 touchdowns in just over a minute. Now in control, 13-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw a defensive lineman's dream. All right? Hey, your defensive coaches are always telling you, look, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. But not only does Mr. Falk get his hands up, he gets the catch and the score.
Yeah, and Falk trying to finish it up here as the long snapper, getting it back to Comets to make it 14-0 Comets. Snap is back, kick is up and through.
Nice foot on that young man. He's pounding that ball. Hey, now let me tell you, they let's just call it what it was, a defensive lineman's dream. Then you put your hands up in the air, get that big mid up there, and hey, that's why them linemen wear gloves.
Hey, you can definitely convince your coach to wear gloves for quite a few more games after you do something like that.
Well, you know, I think he might be related to the defensive coordinator, but I may be wrong, but F-A-U-L-K, Falk, I don't know.
Yeah, and you can see him here. Some great athleticism there from the defensive line, getting the one hand on it and able to catch it behind him. You can see some hugs there. Might be because of the relation.
Well, either that or your mother's going to love you for that one. No, hey, he's now going to be bucking for some time at tight end with a catch like that. Great job, Mr. Falk.
Also, you can see that Comet sideline really pumped up. A couple of them doing the airplane arms here in the battle for the skies.
Well,
maybe a little bit of shade to the Sycamore sideline.
Well, you know, they know where the trophy's been home the last couple of years. They don't want to give it up very easily, but, you know, just in a matter of a couple of minutes, man. We were worried about them coming out of that slow start, and they've come out in both ways thanks to the defense.
Yeah,
man,
ball
get a hand on him. Get a hand on him.
Fielded by Engel, and once again another great return as he breaks some more tackles. And in just a minute and 14 seconds, the Comets scored twice to go up 14-0 after a very slow offensive start.
Engel is very impressive in the open field, and when I say that is, you know, he could probably outrun you, but he's one of those guys that, okay, I think I might be able to outrun you. I think I'd rather run over you.
And he's definitely been showing that tonight. Going back to your earlier point, Mason did win the contest versus Sycamore 21-14 last year and has won the last two. Over the last decade, though, it's been just a little bit on the Sycamore side. Sycamore winning 6 of the previous 10 matchups.
Well, and they, you know, Sycamore for a long time there, prior to the 2018 season, was a perennial playoff team. You know, again, they'd be anywhere from the 7th to the 5th seed, which means they, you know, again, a relatively decent above 500 record. Hey, in this league, in the GMC, a record above 500 will get you a decent playoff seed.
Yeah, especially when, you know, in past years you've been facing Coleraine, who hadn't lost a game in conference for over a decade. Have lost twice so far.
Wow. Look at that.
Able to stack up fair in the backfield, 2nd and 1, but
and they're getting chippy again.
Some chippiness and 2 flags come in.
Come on now, hold Big Joe back.
About 5 Comets there having to hold back Big Joe Reed. Also, Paul Rodriguez, one of the leaders on the offensive line out there on defense, also trying to calm some things down. And there looked to be a potential ejection there on the Sycamore sideline. We'll have to put some things together here.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that was beefing the most was the big offensive lineman, number 77 for Sycamore. Now, I hate to think that, you know, after going down with what I presume to be possibly cramps, because he did go down with a leg injury a little bit earlier, I certainly hope he didn't get disqualified from this game. Don't like to see any of that type of sportsmanship here.
No, you love to see the intensity. You love to see the passion for both teams, you know, especially with kind of a border war here. Mason and Sycamore, obviously, school districts butt up against each other, but you don't like to see something like that. And we are just getting word that 77 on Sycamore has been ejected.
Jordan Frater, that's the young man that went down earlier in the game, so they're going to have to go with him for another 26 minutes and 33 seconds. Your biggest offensive lineman in a game that you were looking to get back to 500 for in the Battle of the Skies trophy, and you got to play without him. Not a smart move, young man.
Yeah, and you go from Hale Frater, 6'5", 330, to Kyle Keaton, the 6', 225 senior, taking over his spot. So definitely lose one of the big guys on the offensive line.
So again, I'm not really crystal clear on the ruling in Ohio high school football, but I think he might even miss at least half of the next game for being ejected from this one.
Yeah, and you wonder, I know it's still the first half, so he might be okay, but yeah, they certainly, you don't like to see that from anyone, and especially during such a big game.
Yeah, big game, rivalry schools, but I mean, again, I'll be the first proponent on the character that high school sports can build. But bad sportsmanship is bad sportsmanship. Fellas, it's just a game.
Yeah, and hopefully, the one nice thing about high school sports is you can turn anything into a learning experience. So hopefully it's something the young man can learn from and come back even better for it.
Okay, now we got, big penalty stepped off against the Aviators, however.
Trying to sort some things out. The coach is telling players to get back on the sidelines, and interesting to see where they're spotting the play. Looks like Comet players have backed up like it might be against them. Sycamore players are kind of standing on the sidelines, so we're trying to get everything figured out. The referees have huddled at midfield. I think they're trying to still figure out a couple things here. We're going to throw it to commercial here real quick as we start to get things sorted out. We will be right back on Friday Night Football on ICRC TV. Comets lead the Aviators 14-0.
Hey, sports fan! Did you know the OHSAA is among the national leaders in social media? Check out the OHSAA's social media platforms for news, tournament information, accomplishments, helpful links, and all the items available in the fan guide, including photos, DVDs, and publications. Check out OHSAA Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. And who knows, you may be the next featured face.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score.
Win! Comets win! Yeah!
Welcome back to Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium for Friday Night Football. Just about 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Mason leading Sycamore 14-0. And Steve, we're still trying to put together what exactly is going on after a little bit of scrum, potential ejections. What we do know is that Sycamore has been backed up. What was a 3rd and 2 is now turned into 3rd and 17.
So that tells me that it was, probably a major infraction, a 15-yard penalty on them, Greg. And I don't see that where there were any ejections. Here's a couple of young men that were heated arguing, but I don't see anybody disqualified yet. So that's a good thing.
No, it looks like Jordan Hale Frater, who we originally thought may have been ejected, actually still out there. You can see him on the far side at his right tackle position. Do see Big Joe Reed on the sideline, but it might just be to calm him down. Looks like some coaches talking to him. They'll get the pass out.
Nice throw by Fair, though. That makes 4th down manageable. I mean, third and 17 is tough, but now, are they going to manage this, or did Coach Casper take a timeout? Yeah, he did.
Trying to see what happens, possibly get the ball back, and you can see the pass out to the right to Cannon Ray.
And Ray was one half step away from getting another first down. He had some nice momentum. I think he could have just kicked free from that tackle.
Yeah, it will be 4th and 5 here for Sycamore. Interesting to see what they do. Mason taking the timeout, maybe trying to take advantage of this momentum. Mason scoring just about 4.5 minutes left, and then scoring just about a minute later, scoring on a Michael Molnar touchdown, and then a pick 6 by Bryce Falk from his defensive tackle position on a screen pass. So 14 quick points for the Comets, and looks like Coach Kastner might be trying to get a little bit more of this momentum on their side, trying to call a timeout and maybe get one more possession for his offense.
I don't know, man. I watched a lot of high school football in my time, called a lot of games. Mr. Falk, that interception was sweet. Sweet.
Yeah, cool to see some of the big guys get a catch and, be able to show off. Sometimes at the defensive tackle position, you're kind of eating up blocks, not exactly getting the sacks or the statistics that, show up, but a touchdown definitely shows up on the stat sheet. 4th and 5 here for Sycamore. Fair's back. He's going to run a draw there, able to get past the tackler and get...
Still dragging him.
Wow, dragging for about 14 yards, and he'll pick up more than enough for the first down, getting into Mason territory. And now Sycamore will have first down at the Comet 46 with still just about 2 minutes to go. Steve looking here once again, going back to the QB draw.
Yeah, that looked like week 1 Joe Burrow.
Out there running for a touchdown in week 1, and Fairs looked pretty athletic out there, able to get 19 there and get a first down. He's looking deep, looking towards the middle. Ball pops up, but harmlessly falls to the ground there. Looked to have a guy open, but able to, that window definitely closed quickly.
Well, trying to get it into Ford, you know what I'm really proud of, though, is the defender for the Comets. Was that Michael Rue? Michael Rue did not lay this guy out. He had the opportunity to, but again, with proper coaching, proper technique. Look, ball goes off his hands, you don't got to smother him. You don't have to smear him across the field. Maybe a little bit of a shove, but like that play. Like that a lot. Good, clean football.
Yeah, now it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Sycamore. Once again, Fair back to pass. Some pressure, but he'll have an open receiver. I believe that was number 31, Cannon Ray, his 2nd catch of the drive, and now moving the chains again is Sycamore threatening to get a late touchdown and get something out of this first half.
And Rue, that time with a good hard shot, because when the tight end's coming down and you're locking eyes with him, it's much better to hit than be hit by a tight end. Comets going to get another one? They are.
Yeah, it looks like Comets calling a timeout, maybe trying to make some adjustments here as they're on their back heels with Sycamore driving, now down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, slow down the Aviator momentum. Again, Fair was in a rhythm. You know, in high school ball in Ohio, the clock stops so the chains can be set. And if you're efficient at calling your plays and getting your players set, you can virtually snap the ball right when the referee places it and winds his arm. So when he winds his arm to start the clock, rather. And you know, again, you can manage the clock. Anything under a minute is no big deal. The clock stops on a first down and or a drop pass and or when you run out of bounds. So they've got an opportunity here to really to not go away from the game plan and still come up with at least some type of score.
Yeah, Fair been showing off his arm this drive, but also his feet getting a good 4th down, and this one actually to Engel, and Engel on the ground will get, I believe, another first down. Yes, they're going to move the chains, so first down for Sycamore, and have moved about 35 yards in just the last minute. So now 1 minute and 7 seconds, but only 15 yards to go for the Aviators.
Engel's running with a passion.
He'll get the ball again here looked to be stopped up, but able to carry a couple tacklers and still get about 4 yards there as we run to just about 45 seconds here in the half. Sycamore, 1 timeout left.
Engel doing a good job of trying to let the blocks develop in front of him, and then when he thinks everybody's got a hat on a hat, or even if the hole's closing, he's going to blast his way through there.
Under 30 seconds, Fair back to pass.
Ooh.
He's looking over the middle. That one incomplete, looking for Cairo Ford.
Michael Rue got his hand in there just in time. I think he may even jammed a finger that time.
So you throw over the middle, and just out past the wide stretched hands of Ford. It'll be 3rd and 6 here with 23 seconds to go. Sycamore can still get a first down within the 5-yard line. That would stop the clock, but not too much time to deal with. Do have a timeout, though.
Yeah, you go ahead and, if you get the first down, you go ahead and spike it.
Looking to the right, that should be a first down, and that will be a touchdown, Sycamore. Sycamore getting some late points here to narrow the gap. Number 80, Alec Van Hoos, with his second catch of the night, and this one goes for a touchdown as Sycamore gets on the board here in the waiting moments of the first half.
Fair delivers such a good ball that Van Hoos not only just gathers it in to get the first down, but once he gathers himself, gets his balance underneath him, he then slashes in for the score. Great job.
And the extra point up and good. So no scoring in the first quarter and a half of football, but it's coming thick and fast now as Sycamore gets the 7 points to make it 14-7 Mason.
21 points in about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So much for slow starts.
Yeah, both teams now starting to get on the board. Sycamore looks to be moving around on their sideline, starting to get a little bit of momentum here. They were down after giving up 2 touchdowns in quick succession, but able to keep themselves in the game with a much-needed touchdown and a much-needed 4th down conversion by Andrew Fair to keep the drive going and lead to the touchdown.
They went from about just shy of the 30, just shy in between the 35 and the 40, all the way down the field in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Again, that was the key to the game for the Aviators, is play within yourself and execute your offense. And get back to what you know how to do, what they did in weeks 1 and 2. Because last week, like I said, they watched that tape once to correct the mistakes. They probably burnt that thing, either that or sent it off to one of Lakota West's future opponents to let them know what they'll be facing.
And it's a low kick here that is fielded, trying to find some space, and there is a little bit of space on the right side, but ends up being tackled at about the 35-yard line. Just about 9.9 seconds to go.
Well, so Sycamore will get the ball coming out in the second half, right, Greg?
Yes, they will.
So they're going to try to hop right on top of that momentum train, assuming they can get a couple of stops right here, jump right on top of that momentum train, and then see if they can carry it forward coming into the second half.
See, Comets coming out in a shotgun, not looking to just kneel it, I guess get one more play off. They'll give McCormick one chance to try to run through the defense, and he'll break a couple tackles,
he almost,
get up to midfield.
Yeah, he almost ran through that defense. Hey, why not? Why not? I mean, he almost broke that thing. Let's go ahead and take the timeout.
Yeah, Mason will have 3.8 seconds left. Michael Timich we can see warming up, but I think would be just a little bit outside his range. Be about a 67-yard field goal. To see Mason here, 4 seconds left. Do you try to take a deep shot here with Molnar, or just hand it off to McCormick and see what he can get?
Actually, I would like to see them run probably one of those quick bubble screen passes. The last couple of weeks they've been running 18-11 as twins on the outside. they get the ball to one of them while the other one blocks for the other one. And that's typically a good play because that's puts you in a 2-on-2 position. If the guy gets the block, you're 1-on-1. The rest of the team's on the other side of the field. Look at that. Is there a cloud in the sky?
Now you can see a wonderful shot here looking over the visitor stands here at Dwire Field. Just a picture-perfect night for Friday Night Football here on ICRC TV. Molnar drops the snap, looking to throw across the middle, running a little hook and ladder. Another pitch there, but that one just too far for McCormick. I don't know if that was a play that they had put together or just a little pass and a couple pitches that just came out of nowhere, but
hook and lateral, yeah.
Trying to maybe get McCormick to the outside, but we finish here at the end of the first half. Sycamore getting a late touchdown to make it 14-7 Comets at halftime. We will be back here in just a little bit for the beginning of the second half. Greg Miller and Steve Parker here on ICRC TV for Friday Night Football.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ICRC TV Sports. Three-pointer. Got it! In for the Comets score. Win! Comets win! Yeah!
100 years ago, the League of Women Voters was founded by suffragists who believed in the power of women to create a more perfect democracy. Throughout the last century, we've never stopped moving towards a future where every person in our country is empowered to play a critical role in shaping our democracy. Today, LWV activists throughout the United States are working to expand voting rights, ensure fair representation in government, and push for a more equitable and just political system. This progress is in our DNA, just as our founders did 100 years ago. Today, our activists are shaping the future of voting rights in America. See how their story could be yours.
Hey, let's check out this park. That's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
I mean, I don't totally know what opioids are, but...
It doesn't happen here.
Not in denial.
No.
Our kids are way too busy.
My son has good friends.
Don't live in denial, Ohio. Talk to your kids about drugs, and they'll be up to 50% less likely to use them.
We save homes and restore pride. We are people working cooperatively. Our typical client earns less than $14,000 annually and cannot afford the critical repairs they need to safely live at home, where they desperately want to be. Our services truly change lives, one repair at a time. Our professionally trained staff, along with 25,000 volunteer hours annually, has provided more than 280,000 services for low-income, elderly, and disabled homeowners in our communities. Every service makes an impact. Homes we service have an increased sales price of 10%, and even the value of surrounding homes increase upwards of 3%. Our energy conservation services save clients an average of $300 a year. These total savings from all customers equals over $200,000 in outstanding energy bills paid. With safer living environments, almost 50% of our clients reported improved health, and many are seeking medical attention less frequently. By living healthy at home, over $54,000 in state and federal funds can be saved annually for each client that does not need to move to assisted living. PwC's impact is more than just dollars and cents. Stable homes create stable families, which means children who are moving less frequently can achieve higher academic success. We are an investment in the future. More people living safely in their own home paints a brighter future for everyone, but we can't do it alone. We need your help to continue to build a brighter future for the entire community. Give back and get involved at pwchomerepairs.org.
When you vote, something powerful happens to your voice. Your single ballot becomes a megaphone. You stand out and tell your community and our nation what you want for our future. Vote411.org is your tool for accurate and unbiased election information on the issues that affect you and the people you care about. Through Vote 411, you can register to vote using our online form that only takes a few minutes to complete, available in multiple languages. Check your registration status and find out where to vote right on the Vote 411 homepage, and get important up-to-the-minute information on the elections happening in your state and local community through the Vote 411 interactive map. Your voice is strong and important. It is a critical part of our democracy. Vote411.org is your tool for all the election information you need. Get online, get the facts, and make your voice heard on Election Day. Powered by the League of Women Voters Education Fund.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps! Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel, and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses.
You heard how
I
loud
know,
was.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it.
Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game.
The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we go!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC TV.
And welcome back to Friday Night Football here on ICRC TV. We're here at Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium for this matchup between the Sycamore Aviators and the Mason Comets. Mason leading 14-7 as we start the third quarter. Greg Miller along with Steve Parker here. And Steve, entertaining first half.
Boy, that's to say the least. And we're just looking at the Sycamore or the Mason scoring plays. Young Mr. Falk with the dream of a defensive lineman, which is, if you can't get to him, put your hands up. Well, he put his hands up, he caught the pass, he went in for 6. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fun to rewatch on film study on Monday, but no scoring through the first quarter and a half, but in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds, Mason scores a touchdown, gets the pick 6, and then Sycamore able to come back and score with just 20 seconds left to make it 14-7. Sycamore will receive the opening kickoff when we get back to action here in just about 30 seconds.
Well, so the question now, Greg, is Sycamore going to use that momentum they grabbed there in the final 2 minutes of that half and carry it forward here? They started to do a lot of good things. Now, they've been doing a lot of good things all night, but they've been killing drives with penalties, bad snaps, and just generally some sloppy play. If they can clean that up and score right here in this first drive, we got us a barn burner coming down the stretch, buddy.
Yeah, Sycamore on all three of their first half, or on 3 of their 4 first half drives, getting inside the Mason 30-yard line. First 2 getting backed up because of some penalties and some bad snaps. I think it's imperative for Sycamore to kind of tighten things up here, which they seem to do after the couple big penalties there with just about 2 minutes left, able to convert 4th and 5, and Sycamore will get the ball here to start the second half, as we saw the coin flip there earlier.
So, I mean, the question is does Fair take a little bit off of the throws that he's had? Because he's been a little bit stiff with a few of those throws. When he takes it off and actually, lets the pass work its way to the receiver rather than trying to rip it through him, it seems to be a little bit better delivered ball. And hey, Engel is on tonight. We saw that in that last drive. He caught a couple of passes, but really running in between the tackles, being very patient and hitting it hard.
Yeah, and we can see here as the sun sets and the night sky comes out, just a beautiful picture of the moon, just a picture-perfect night. As we said, not a cloud in the sky, as we get excited here for some Friday night football, as it looks like the players coming out onto the field to kick it off. For Mason, on the other hand, as we mentioned, the Sycamore offense, what does the Mason defense have to do? As we mentioned, have allowed quite a bit of yards, did allow the touchdown at the end there. What do they have to do to slow down the quarterback, running back tandem of Fair and Engel that's really kind of gashed them at times tonight?
Well, they're starting to get a little bit of a pass rush, but Fair's too mobile. I mean, to get him, you got to keep him in the box and then collapse the box around him. It's the good job of returning that kick. They've started every drive out beyond the 30, have the Aviators, so field position has not been their problem tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of a short kick. That one returned by junior Cody Charles, trying to keep the ball away from Engel there, but still about the same result, as Sycamore will have some good starting field position starting at their own 33-yard line.
I think what the Comets need to remember to do is, look, you can't do it all by yourself. Everybody do your job. Linebackers and the safety should be making most of the tackles. And there's that jet sweep again.
Yeah, that one to Cairo Ford, and he'll pick up probably about 9 yards, pretty close to a first down here, maybe 2nd and 1.
But what really is helping Sycamore on the offense is the threat of Ford coming around that edge makes everybody on the edges play a little bit more, how can I put it, a little bit more honest. You can't cheat and try to chase after Engel the whole time.
Yeah, and the less defenders that are out there, if Engel's one-on-one, he'll probably run right through him. As you see him get stacked up by a number of Mason defenders. Can't run through 4 of them, especially not big number 65, Joe Reed.
Well, Joe Reed was there. Joe Reed is just clogging up lanes. Reed's supposed to clog it up in Orlando, and the other backers are supposed to, Orlando and Evans are supposed to just clean it all up. But Big Joe that time just, guessed right, shot the right gap, and the guy ran right into his chest.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to let him bounce off of him.
Gets about half a yard there to make it 3rd down and 1 here. Handoff.
Boy, he turns your corner
to Ford again, and yeah, he gets real quick past the defense, and he'll get another solid gain, getting it right to about midfield and moving the chains here for Sycamore.
And he's always running to his left. That's what I like. Look at him. He finds he gets out there. Now the defender actually turned him into where he could go straight up the hole, but he does a really good job of setting that left foot and turning that thing inside.
Yeah, seems to turn the corner real quick. He's out to the right as Engel goes back with Fair in the backfield. Fair, quarterback keeper to the right side.
Good way to mix it up.
Able to get a couple blocks there and get about 8 yards there. Fair on the keeper. Looks like the defensive end there crashed, and he just pulled him up with it.
Yeah, well, he was crashing, just thinking, I got to get to him, and of course, he had a couple of hats on him, too. That was a nice block. The tight end on that back side actually driving him away through. Everybody's looking for, if Cairo's not getting it and Engel's not getting it, again, Ford or Engel aren't getting it, then it's time for Fair to step up. And he's made some very nice runs tonight.
A couple nice passes, too, as he throws here to Van Hoos. Alec Van Hoos on the right side. He'll pick up enough to move the chains once again. Van Hoos had the touchdown reception late in the first half, so he's had a couple catches here early, getting involved as Fair starts to get the passing game back involved.
Yeah, Fair, look at this. So see what I'm talking about? You know, I mentioned earlier that when guys come out of their breaks, their hands usually have to be above their basically above their belt loops. When Van Hoosh came out of the breaks, his hands were almost, you know, up to his solar plexus. That way he just has to roll his wrists up and get his hands out in front of him and bring that ball in. Nice move. That's a guy that's a receiver.
They're here looking for a deep pass. Way over the head there of Cannon Ray. And that one will fall incomplete. Cannon Ray has been targeted on a number of deep shots, but only the one reception on kind of a short play there. So maybe something that Sycamore's trying to look into their second half game plan.
Right, and he's throwing in a double coverage there, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, well, because the corner's got the under, safety's got over the top.
Yeah, and you can see both of the DBs back there, including Jax Hutchinson, making sure there was nowhere for Fair to throw the ball, trying to make too precise of a throw, overthrows it, and it's 2nd and 10 now for Sycamore. Hand off to Ford, getting him on the outside again, and Ford has been putting his foot in the ground, as you said, and picking up, you know, 8 to 10 yards every time he gets the ball.
That's the first time that I can recall that they've run him to the right, though. They've been running him left all night, and that's the first time I can recall running him to the right. And they lined him up in the backfield that time, too. So he wasn't coming off the wing. He actually came off the right side of the quarterback.
Yeah, and two kind of do-it-all backs here. You know, Ford's lined up in the backfield a couple times, but you've had Ford in the backfield, Engel in the backfield, but then also both of them, you know, going either in a wing back, going to the outside, kind of putting them all over the field. And
Ford's in the slot right now. Engel was in the slot that time.
Yeah, trying to get another pass to, or another run out there to the right to Ford, but that one covered pretty well. Ford having to dive back inside and only getting a couple yards there.
I mean, Engel was right in, you know, he was in the slot. He was actually covered up by two guys. So they had trips out to the left. So now they're going to go ahead and try to stretch that 4-2-5 out and thin out the ranks. Don't be surprised if they go again with the shot to the right as they're thinning things out on the left.
Yeah, Engel back to the backfield. It's going to be a throw out. Looking for Ford there. But that looked to be DB Cam Ashurst coming up, able to break up the pass there and able to keep Ford from a dangerous receiver back from getting the ball in his hands.
He's over there going, oh man, I had it. I made a play on the ball and I just missed it. Oh.
Yeah, pass looked to be just a little bit behind him, almost able to make the play. And you can see him just reaching out his hands like, man, that was there for me. 3rd and 8 now for Sycamore.
Big third down.
Fair looking to the left. Ball right in the bucket. But a fumble. Oh, and they're going to call him down. Cairo Ford able to get a very nice pass by Fair there. Just a nice little touch pass. Looked to drop the ball, but maybe a little bit too late, and they'll call him down. And Sycamore will pick up another first down.
Look at him, like you said, drop it right in the bucket, over the up corner, in front of the safety in the back corner.
And that looked to me to pop out just a little bit before Ford went to the ground. His whole left side seemed to hit the ground at the same time, and the ball just popped out, I think, a little early.
Yeah, we won't get it on the replay. But more importantly, 1st and goal.
Fakes to Ford, but gets it out to Engel on the little post route. And Sycamore, with basically 2 straight possessions, getting the ball late in the second half and early in the 3rd quarter, able to get a touchdown with a chance here to tie up the game with the point after touchdown.
Again, Engel lining up in the slot. I like the way that the coach is using Engel and Ford. And then every now and then mix in a little bit of Andrew Fair. That's a good way to diversify the offense.
All cylinders running, but looked to be a kick, maybe a little bit of an issue with the ball going down. Popped straight up to the right side, and that's no good.
I think maybe somebody got their hand on it. We'll catch it on the replay. No, we'll catch the touchdown on the replay.
Yeah, kick looked to kind of take a weird rotation. I don't know if he mishit it or someone got a foot on it, or someone got a hand on it. I apologize.
There you see, great job on a nice slant by Engel. And do we have the extra point on replay?
We'll see here as Sycamore gets ready to kick it off. Just down 1 point now, as Mason will get their first shot with the ball. About a nice 5-minute drive there by Sycamore. See if the Mason offense can respond.
I certainly hope so.
Not a whole lot of action late in the second quarter for the Comets. They scored the touchdown, then had the pick six. Long drive by Sycamore, only about 20 seconds left, and then Sycamore getting the ball to start the third quarter. So it's been a long time since the Comet offense has been able to get out there and kind of get things rolling again. Kickoff now deep. That'll go into the end zone, and
that's a nice leg. You know, earlier the flag was blowing right to left on your TV screen, but that flag just, just trickling in the breeze now. So that was not wind assisted. He nailed that thing.
Yeah, big kick there, and be a touchback. Mason will get the ball at their own 20 to start it off. Their first drive here of the second half. Up just by 1 point now.
Do what you do, Michael. Take what the defense gives you now.
Molnar with the single back. Giving it off to McCormick, but a lot of pressure there by the Sycamore defense. Looked to be nose guard Kyle Heaton getting in there quickly and causing some issues. Look to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe lose about a half yard there. And Mason, early in the first half, a number of 3 and outs to start the night. Did start to look like they were getting the offense going, Steve, but after a long layoff, we'll see if that's affected them. Hand off to McCormick again, but once again, just not a whole lot of room. Maybe 2 or so there to make it 3rd down and 9.
Okay, that's 2 runs inside the tackles. So now you force yourself to do something on 3rd down to open up the playbook. Because again, I think the Aviators have wrestled away the old momentum monster here. And a 3rd down stop here, it means that they are in command of the momentum monster unless the Comets can do something here to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, and getting that offense right back onto the field if it turns into a 3 and out. Molnar out of the shotgun, roll out to his right. Not a whole lot of room, and will throw the ball short, but that's incomplete. And Sycamore keeping hold of the momentum as they force a 3 and out here for the Comets, and they'll likely to get the ball back here in pretty decent field position, unless there's another excellent punt by Norland McCormick.
Well, he's going to have to do it into the wind because it just kicked up. Again, it's not a gale force thing, but again, wind in your face is wind in your face. And typically, that's the idea behind these Australian type of kickers is that rugby style is you get about 3 steps and you try to kick an end over ender. And
he takes a few more steps, but
and a nice sailing punt too.
Yeah, got the ball actually forward lined up at about the 30. That one went all the way back to the 35, and very nice punt by McCormick, and that's about as good as you can do there, getting the ball all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, he took his time, took a few steps to the right. Again, trying to go ahead and pin Ford back, and try to pin Engel back in that corner. So at least, if he is going to catch it, he's going to have everybody collapsing him into the corner using the sideline as one defender.
Yeah, and that's the thing. McCormick doesn't kick the ball super high up in the air, but allows the defense to get down there a little bit, and so he can get a little extra distance and allow for the defense to get down there.
Oh, fair had him.
Throw looking for Ford over the middle, but just a little bit too far. Looked to have Ford open at about the 50-yard line.
Ford had come out of his break, and look how clean he is when he comes across. Yeah, he's got him beat by 2 steps. And again, a little bit tighter throw, maybe a little bit more air underneath it. I think Cairo Ford's still running.
Yeah, and Fair's been putting a lot on that football. He's made a couple nice throws, but just a couple that were right out of the hands.
And a fumble.
The ball goes down. Wow, Fair able to get it back. That could have been disastrous. Ball looked to drop on the ground and then kick off the leg of Engel. Could have really gotten away from him there as we see the replay.
He just doesn't watch it into his hands. He just didn't watch it into his hands. He's ready to make the handoff right away. Now,
and the key to the game, the player to watch on your side, Jackson Orlando right in there, almost had a shot at the ball.
Well, again, they're starting to pin him on an edge and letting him work off of that edge. I like him in this scenario, pinning his ears back and trying to knife through. Oh, tipped it up.
3rd and 14. Deep pass, but it looks like they're going to get some pass interference. Cannon Ray popped right up and started clapping as the flags came in. Be interesting to see the spot here, too. They're having a little conversation here, though.
Yeah, it's hard to call it a nickel when you play a 4-2-5, but basically it's the extra defensive back in there that rolled through.
And that looked to be kind of a tough play. Maybe a hand on the shoulder a little bit, but also looked like the pass was a little bit offline and Ray really didn't have a shot at it. So tough call there. And they're going to move the chains for a first down.
Yeah, that's a 10 yards at the spot type of call. So, and if the catch would have been made, it would have been a first down. So it's first down plus here.
So
defense needs to stiffen up.
Yep, Aviators driving once again, 3rd and a whole bunch, but a flag bails out the Aviators, and now they just run it back to their bread and butter, give it to Engel right up the middle, and he'll pick up a nice chunk of yards there.
Yeah, and they're sending a guy into the hole in front of him to clear it out too. Engel being very patient, keeping his shoulder pads parallel to the line of scrimmage and just trying to hammer through those holes, taking what the defense will give him. That's a good pickup, though, 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 here. Hand it off to Engel again, but Mason able to get some nice push there. Looked like Engel might have had a little bit of room, but able to get pushed back by that Mason defense, and they'll force another 3rd down. This one quite a bit shorter, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I think Mr. Falk had his jersey pretty hard stretched that time as he was working on the edge against that big tackle.
Yeah, and they do have the flag there, so that'll push Sycamore back. See, it was on the other side. Flag comes in, and after a break for Sycamore getting the pass interference, they get the break against them now as they're called for holding, and it's 2nd and 16 now.
Comets can't give up a big play here.
Fair going back, but actually getting out of the pocket, but some nice, getting around the quarterback by the defense. A couple missed tackles, but Wadsworth able to slow him down enough to allow for the rest of the Mason defense to get up there, and only about a gain of 1 there for Fair.
Mr. Wadsworth has been studying film on Fair, I'll guarantee you. Knowing where he likes to break, where he likes to go. Nick with a great play. I told you he's been all over the field tonight on his defensive tackle position. So good job in the pursuit there. Setting up a big 3rd down for the Aviators.
Yeah, Fair looking deep.
Oh, get it!
Oh, and that one just dropped. Senior Jackson Hutchinson looking for the pick there, but maybe looked to be running before he really caught that in, and that might be why he's playing DB instead of wide receiver.
Well, they've got him listed as DB/WR. Something tells me with hands like that, he ain't gonna see much WR. But nice play of stepping in and breaking that thing up, Jackson.
Nice play there, and potentially a chance for Mason to break that Sycamore momentum and get the ball back.
Now, is that McCormick back there to return that kick?
That is McCormick back, but they will not give him any sort of chance as the ball.
Yeah, but let's see where the so he sets up. Yeah, okay, keep going, okay. Okay, he sets up at about the 37, so that thing went out of bounds, and we saw where McCormick was set up at about the 23-24, but the referee, as he walks it off, or the side judge, walks it all the way up to the 37-yard line. Great starting field position. Comets got to wrestle that old momentum monster back.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. Their second drive of the quarter. First one was another 3-and-out for him, but we'll see with good field position what they do here. McCormick back with Molnar in the shotgun.
Be smart.
And Molnar just gets some pressure from the back edge. That's nose guard Kyle Heaton, who's caused some issues for the middle of that Comet offensive line, and he gets back there and wrestles down Molnar for a loss of about 7 yards.
Did you say wrestles him?
Wrestles him down.
Wrestles him, I love it. Yeah, great job. He's not going to deliver any big hits, but I tell you what, he shoved off 2 blockers to get there. I mean, he's got one guy scraping on him. He's got the other guy supposed to get a hat on him, and he wrist wraps and slides by both of them.
Yeah, 6 foot 225, able to show off some of the strength there. Trying to get another little throw out to the right for Nick Molinari there. Molinari had a big catch and run in the first half. That one just a little bit too far out, and Mason in a 3rd and very long.
No, that's because they've seen that one before. Okay, that's when Molinari leaks out, he's going to run that short out pattern. That again, if it's not timed right, if he's not catching it as soon as he comes out of his break, it blows off the timing, and Sycamore's seen that already tonight. So now they're in a big pinch here.
See what they do here. Molnar back to throw. Once again, getting a lot of pressure by Kyle Heaton, who has just been wearing out Molinari from the middle of that defensive line, and forces Molnar just to throw it away. And Mason not able to take advantage of the decent field position, actually getting pushed back, and McCormick will have to have another good punt to flip the field.
No, at least the wind's down. So, this has been kind of a, with the Aviators came out and scored 6 on a nice drive, and then it's been a bundle of errors now for the last few minutes as neither team could take advantage of decent field position or even turnovers.
Yeah, and we'll see that rugby-style punt by Molnar.
Needs a bounce.
Gets a couple bounces. Still a decent call, still a decent punt, but certainly not one of the better ones he's had tonight. And there will be a flag back by where the punt returners are.
Yeah, Iverson Borders was back there talking, so I don't know. Yeah, it's a penalty on them, so.
Yeah, going to call a block in the back there. So that'll be a 10-yard penalty and make that punt just a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit sweeter. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, that was a blind side. That's a cheap block. That's a cheap block. You can't, when a guy, you can't put an ear hole shot on a guy when he's not looking at you, okay? That's the new rules. It used to be the way that we played all the time. You don't play it that way anymore, fellas. Blind shots against undefendable players are cheap shots.
Yeah, and you see it sometimes. It's difficult when guys are going back and forth, but that one you could obviously see him run the other way. So obviously a penalty there, but they'll get it to Engel to start this drive. And once again, just bowling through the line and bowling through a couple of tacklers and picking up another nice gain. But still pick up a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 here as we run to just about a minute left here in the third quarter. Mason taking the lead, keeping the lead thanks to a missed extra point, but momentum has certainly been on the Sycamore side in the second half. Little fake to Fair, but Joe Reed in the back to slow him down, and then a couple other Comet tacklers to pick it back up. You can see the jump by big Joe Reed there.
I think Joe Reed had his hand on both the running back and the quarterback, and he said, now which one of you has the ball? Yeah, see? Look,
yeah, just
he swam move over the guy that he thought had the ball to get to the guy that had the ball. That's a great move for a big fella.
And you can see the some of the defensive middle of the line players for both teams coming up big. Heaton, the smaller guy, but able to get around the center, and then just big Joe Reed able to kind of muscle, but show a little bit of dexterity there, swimming over Engel and taking down Fair as we run to the end of the third quarter. Sycamore able to get it within 1, but the missed extra point makes it Mason 14, Sycamore 13 at the end of 3 here at Dwire Field at Atrium Stadium on Friday Night Football.
I'll tell you what, it's just like we thought it was going to be. You know, hey, throw out the records, folks. These are two communities that butt up next to each other. Like I said, these fellas see each other up and down Snyder Road, over off Fields Earl Road, you know, over by Reed Hartman Highway, just all those common borders. And they, as you see our cable plants replay times, these are the fun games to do. I mean, these guys know who each other are. They've grown up playing against each other in the younger leagues. They've seen each other in junior high and here to high school football. And these are the games where, you know, you got to beat for bragging rights. But more importantly, you got to get that battle for the skies trophy.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, you know, a Mason grad and a Sycamore grad in the booth, but remember playing Sycamore football all the way back as, you know, Pee-wee football. Remember playing on some baseball and basketball teams with some, you know, local kids in some of the leagues. So there's certainly a lot of familiarity, and you can definitely see that between the teams. But a great matchup so far as Fair was kind of running for his life there, and a big play there by Mason to take him down and force 4th and long and get the ball back to the Comets.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of, so he ran away from pressure, but he also ran away from protection. And the only guys that were near him were guys that knocked him down. So Andrew Fair starting to make probably some of the wrong decisions.
Yeah, and that's Nick Molinari able to come up with the big play there. The tight end has made a big play on offense and now a big play on defense. Also, as McCormick gets the ball there for the Comets, starting off in decent field position, we've got a Mason soccer doubleheader Saturday on ICRCTV.com. Both the Lady Comets and the male soccer team back to back here on ICRCTV.com at 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Be sure to check out both those matchups. Mason soccer historically has been a great team. I know when I was in school, they went to the Final Four several times in both men's and women's. So certainly something you want to stick around for tomorrow. Mason getting started at their own 43-yard line. Molnar, quarterback keeper, able to find the edge and pick up a nice gain.
Hey, is Ian Liddell on that doubleheader tomorrow, or has he just got one of them? I have to call him and remind him. Lemon vitamin water, man. If you're doing 2 games, lemon vitamin water.
Always good to see the doubleheader. Always good to see all of our great voices, all of our great volunteers here at ICRC TV calling the games. Mason coming up 2nd and 5 here. Handoff to McCormick. Runs over a couple tacklers and able to get right up near a first down. It looks like they'll give him the first down. Yeah, they are going to move the chains there as Mason gets their first down of the second half after a couple 3-and-outs and move into Sycamore territory with the 1-point lead and just under 11 minutes to go in this game.
Very nice, very nice.
Molnar back in the shotgun. McCormick to his right hip. Wow, we'll keep it and pick up a couple of yards there. Certainly fooled a couple Sycamore defenders that were looking to hit McCormick for a couple of yard loss. Nice keeper by McCormick to get what he can and get a couple of yards there.
I like that play. Okay, so we've talked about McCormick running in between the tackles. That time you fake him going outside and almost, but again, just take what the defense gives you and live to move on to the next play.
Yeah, Molnar back in the shotgun here for 2nd and 8. Into Sycamore territory. They'll fake it again. Look for a little toss out to Molinari.
Get out there.
Able to break a tackle. Stay on the sidelines and get a couple more yards and pick up a first down and a little bit more as they move up inside the 30-yard line to about the 27.
Once he gets the catch and gathers it in and turns his pads upfield, he's got an extra gear that he kicks in down. He scampers past that one guy and then look at him. Maybe it's just the long strides. It doesn't look like he's going fast, but once he's not tiptoeing through stuff, he gets a lot of ground quickly.
Yeah, certainly covering a lot of ground, and you saw that on his big pass play or his big pass reception early. He can get down that sideline with some speed, and now a couple big plays for Molinari, including a sack, as Mason moves in to about the 30-yard line, gets it to McCormick on the right side, trying to get the corner, but is just stuck up and put down.
Mike Molinari, Mr. Molinari, you got to get at least a hat on him, just slow him down a little bit. McCormick ends up losing a couple. And we'll call it one.
Yeah, loss of about 1 there. You can see him try to get to the outside, but nice open field tackle there. And that was Cody Charles there on the outside, able to.
I'm telling you, a jet sweep would work very well right now.
Let's see what they do here. 2nd and 11. Fake.
Good
up
job.
To Molnar in the middle.
That's the grades. That's a good play right there. That time he offered it, but you see that his head was up, and then once the defenders committed to him to following McCormick, then he pulls it down and finds the spot.
You can see the great view from the back there. You can see the linebackers kind of flow to the left side of the screen, pulls it and makes it to 3rd and very manageable. Picks up about 9 or 10 there to make it 3rd and 2.
If I know Coach Brian Castro, he won't settle for anything but a touchdown drive here.
We'll see what the Comets can do here. Little bit of movement, and looks like they're going to be calling a false start here. Maybe trying to do a quick or a hard count there, and ends up catching their own team off, and that'll move it back to about a 3rd and 7. Another mental mistake there by the Comets, and we've seen it from both teams tonight, Steve.
Well, they are young men, but we are in week 4. You think, and again, I don't know if they had abbreviated camps that, again, are limited by the contact, but here in week 4, you got to clean that stuff up, guys.
Molnar goes under center here on 3rd and 7. He'll run the fake, getting some pressure. See if he can turn the corner.
He can.
He'll be able to turn the corner and
wow.
run over a defender for the first down. Molnar able to make it happen with his feet there and pick up a huge first down for the Comets.
I like the tough guy move at the end. he gets to the end, and he just lowers his shoulder into the nose tackle, who, I'm going to tell you, man, the guy's going sideline to sideline from nose tackle, and Mr. Molnar just puts it to him.
And you look at...
he outruns the defensive end first. Now watch him lower the boom. Boom.
And you wonder, with the nose tackle putting him on the ground so many times tonight, you wonder if he put a little extra under it, just trying to get him back for all the times he's gotten put on the ground.
Are you saying an eye for an eye, if you will, or a shoulder for a shoulder?
Hey, quite possibly there, but the big news for the Comets is they do move the chains and have a first down right on the edge of the red zone here at the 20-yard line. Also, taking some time off the clock, under 8 minutes to go.
Coach has always told us, better to be the hitter than the hittee. Oh, get there, Nolan.
Hands it to McCormick up the middle, and he'll pick up about 7 or 8 there. This rush offense up the middle starting to really get kick-started for the Comets here on this drive.
Yeah, and again, go back to the keys of the game. Control the ball, control the clock. They're eating up a lot of clock here. If they can come away with 7 here, and really put Sycamore behind the hole. If they go up 8, then the pressure's again back over on the Aviators.
And starting to take some momentum. They had lost it late in the first half, early in the second half, but look to have some momentum now. Noah McCormick looked to trip over, maybe it was his own offensive line. Couldn't really see the foot there.
Did he get enough? Did he get enough? Where's his? No, they're not going to give him they're going to set the ball just shy of the first down mark.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to fall forward for about a yard, but it'll be 3rd and 2 here for the Comets. So far, Mason has been able to convert number of third downs, couple short. Of course, the one 3rd and 7 that Molnar was able to roll out to his right and get the first down. So we'll see if they can convert another one here.
Yeah, they're going to boot him again. No, wait. Okay, Jackson Orlando in a fullback. Is that a decoy, or is he going to follow him or lead him through the hole?
Runs a pitch to the outside, trying to get McCormick some space. Nice block by Orlando. And McCormick just walks in for the touchdown.
Player to watch, Jackson Orlando just erases the guy coming in from the edge. Just absolutely wipes him out of the play.
And you can see, we've seen it all night. He likes to make some big hits on defense. Well, he makes a huge hit here on offense that puts the left side wide open for McCormick, and he scampers in for an easy touchdown to give the Comets a 7-point lead that could be taken up to 8 here with a successful PAT. That one up and good. Comets now take an 8-point lead with just 6 minutes to go after the 20-yard scamper by Nolan McCormick, putting the Comets up 21-13.
You know, that kicker's got a pretty strong leg. You know, I mean, you know, doesn't look like an exceptionally big guy. Let me look up his stats real quick.
Yeah, I know Michael Timets, no field goals by the Comets last year, but I know he's had a couple so far this year. Had one against Fairfield, so.
Well, I mean, they got him listed here at 5'7", 150. I tell you what, we you know, that's a third time that we've heard him kick. And or saw him kick, but we can hear that thump up here, folks. You know when a guy can hit it.
Yeah, and that ball has no problem clearing the field goal post. So as you can see, the big excitement by McCormick, and some of the guys on the sideline coming over to cheer with him as well.
Yeah, doing a good job of running the show there, Michael. Oh, that time Engel unwisely tries to go across the field, run into the teeth of the defense. Typically on those type of plays, Greg, you count on guys not to hold their lanes, to pinch and go get him. Great job of discipline by the Mason special teams to hold their lanes, because usually with a guy with Engel's type of speed, if you go ahead and pinch down on him at the corner, then he's going to beat you to going around across the field, and great job of maintaining their lanes and keeping him in front of them.
We'll see with this Sycamore offense can do to respond. Now down 8 with 6 minutes to go. Fair in the backfield by himself. Running a little quarterback keeper up the middle, and he'll pick up some nice yardage, about 6 there on first down.
You said by yourself, but Ford was coming behind him on the motion penalty. Real important for the Comets here now to keep the offensive guys in front of them, try to eliminate some first downs, because first downs are going to stop the clock with them. They don't need any more help than the 3 timeouts that they got. More importantly, let's try to turn the ball over. We haven't seen a turnover in a while. Let's see if the Comets can cause one here.
Yeah, only the 1 interception so far, the pick 6 early, as they'll give it up to Engel up the middle. He'll break a couple tackles and just keep dragging a guy forward for another couple of yards. And we'll pick up a big run and a Sycamore first down as he comes up near midfield.
He's running with purpose tonight. But watch this. Gets through the hole and then turn it up. Turn it up. Look for somebody to drill. Take what the defense gives you, but really doing a great job. But once he gets through that hole, is trying to go north and south. And he gets there in a hurry.
Yeah, certainly getting there with a hurry and willing to put a hit down on anyone that gets in his way. He's out in the slot there as a little pitch,
he was
possibly looking for a trick play, but Mason all over it.
No, they had Ford streaking down the sideline. They had that thing set up beautifully if he didn't have defenders in front of him. But I tell you what, great job, great discipline by the Mason defensive line to keep him in front of him. Nobody bit on the reverse fake. Yeah, 1 guy scrape off, 2 guys scrape off. Great job.
So we'll see here. Big loss for Sycamore. Back about a 5-yard loss there, so it'll be 2nd and 15.
And the clock continues to run, and there's a delay of game, or illegal substitution. So again, the Aviators move back. They were getting close to the 25-second clock was down underneath 5. I thought maybe they were going to catch that, Greg, but again, the wheels just coming off a little bit for the Aviators here.
Yeah, back-to-back mistakes there pushes them even further back. Now 2nd and 20, and about 2 minutes is already ran off the clock. Under 4 minutes to go here in this game.
Ever since they put on that 13th point, the Aviators have been 2 good plays and then 3 mistake plays. And so they're erasing any progress that they're getting.
Fair in the pocket, finds some room, deep pass down the right side, but that'll be incomplete.
Iverson Borders back there in coverage.
Looking for Cannon Ray down the right side.
Ray was open if the ball had a little bit more zip on it. He had to wait up for it.
Yeah, it looks like they maybe caught him a little bit late as Fair was trying to get outside the pocket. Didn't quite have the normal timing on that play.
Fair's getting the heat. Look at Big Joe thundering down on him. So he comes out of the pocket, and again, he just can't get enough underneath it or enough zip on it.
And Iverson Borders, they're right behind him, able to maybe affect it a little bit, but not quite the best throw, and it'll be 3rd and very long.
I think it hit Iverson in the back of the elbow, actually. Good makeup speed while the ball's in the air. A lot of times you just read a guy's eyes to find out where the ball is.
Fair, under some pressure again.
Oh, who's there to clean it?
Picked up by Jackson Orlando. Molinari there almost getting him, slowing him down, and then...
I know, but Big Joe's in there. Joe Reed's in there causing all this ruckus. I mean, he's for the last, I want to say, quarter and a half, Joe Reed, after he got scolded for, barking a lot, he's been creating a lot of havoc in that backfield. I mean, he had to duck him first. And so when you duck the biggest guy, then you got to prepare yourself because then the fastest guys are coming.
Yeah, and 4th and very long now, so Sycamore will punt it away with just 2.5 minutes to go.
That's a great fair catch call, Nolan McCormick.
Fair catch there, and as we mentioned, Sycamore moving the ball early, had some mistakes, able to put some points on the board, but it seems like in the last about the time since the time Joe Reed stepped up, this whole Mason defense in general has really stepped up and kind of shut down the Sycamore offense.
Well, I mean, and Sycamore shut down themselves too. Let's face it. I mean, they've had some good plays. They just haven't been able to string enough of them together. And again, bad snaps, penalties, critical penalties at killer times when they're in crucial downs. That's what's been their Achilles heel all night.
Molnar trying to get some room to the outside, ends up cutting back to the middle.
It's down. The first thing I thought is Michael protect that rock, and as soon as he went down, the ball popped out.
Yeah, he looked to be a little bit loose in the right side, kind of keeping the ball out there, but they'll call him down.
Yeah, here comes some penalties now as the Sycamore boys are losing their poise. And Coach Totillo is going to say, no excuse, come on out. You don't lose your cool. Well, yeah, so you can see here was it out before he got there? He was on it when he went down. And again, was his knee down. And
yeah, that was kind of close.
Here comes some more barking, and here comes some more flags. So we're going to have offsetting penalties here. Is the Mason Comets are flapping their gums.
Yeah, and like we said, rivalry game. Sometimes tensions get high, but certainly don't like to see that, and certainly don't want to see something like that, dictate the game one way or another.
Well, I mean, the game's here football is a game that builds character. We're not looking for characters. We're here to build character. And again, they'll clean that up. They'll talk about that tomorrow. He may have a little bit of duty, and maybe. But, again, when he goes down and covers it, then he's down. So, I mean, we didn't have the angle to see if that thing squirted out. But if he's on it and his knee's down, he's down. Now, if he bounces up off of it because it hits him in the solar plexus and slides away, then that's still, he's down. So we didn't get the benefit of the angle there, but yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, a couple close fumbles, each being ruled as being down. So one by Sycamore earlier, one by Mason now, and now they're going to, looks like a little bit of conversation there between Coach Brian Kastner.
I mean, just telling it to tell your players to cool off. Brian's wanting an explanation. And again, he doesn't want, Scott Totillo to get any conversation that he doesn't get. And he does want his guys to, play with poise, play with pride, but don't play stupid and don't play cheap.
Yeah, and Coach Kastner, certainly a colorful, animated guy himself, but, at the end of the day, expects poise out of himself and out of his players, and hopefully he can get them under control. I mean, both Coach Totillo and Coach Kastner for these last 2.5 or so minutes.
Yeah, they brought their teams over. They're getting them together and say, look, we got 2:23 to play. Now, either, do your job. Let's see what we can accomplish here. And, again, Comets with a 2nd and 5. Pick up a couple of first downs. Let's go home, fellas. Let's go eat some pizza, whatever. But the smart thing is just to get out of here, and we'll walk away at 4-0.
And depending on how some of the other scores went, I know there were some close games at halftime, would put them either in a tie for first or first all alone in the GMC. So big game for the Comets, as they have some tough road games coming up here soon at Hamilton, and then the season finishes at Lakota West.
Ooh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at that one. That, if that sets up 2 5-0 teams, that'd be a great game.
Yep. Would be big time for both teams. Obviously, Lakota West handing Coleraine their first loss since, 2000s. And putting it up there on the screen, we have our ICRC volunteer guys. I mean, if you're interested in broadcasting, need some hours, or just want to get involved, you can volunteer. They have concerts, high school sports. You could be like Steve and I, up in the booth calling any kind of sport you're comfortable with. Just ICRCTV.com or reach out to Jason at ICRCTV.com. Get involved. If you enjoy high school sports, you like watching ICRC TV, get on a camera or get in the booth with one of us.
I bet she's a volunteer. Mason student getting some of those hours in for her media class.
And getting some great experience here. I mean, you know, if you're young, you possibly want a career, you know, either being behind the scenes or behind a mic. Always great opportunities all the time.
Hey, wait. What if you're an older guy and you just love watching sports? Can you come out and volunteer and call those games?
You can certainly do that too.
Okay, well, I was a younger guy when I volunteered first.
Hey, few things better than some nice football weather and some football whether it's on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So I'm about it whatever night I can be here. And right now with some of the restrictions, one of the only ways I can be here is being in the booth. So certainly happy to volunteer as Molnar just tries to push forward, kind of gets backed up, but able to kind of fall to the side and fall forward, and I believe pick up a big first down for the Comets.
Yeah, well, you know, again, the idea is that just get what the defense gives you. Okay, now they're going to come back. They're probably going to come with a couple of more tight end packages. I think we're getting another timeout from Sycamore, who will exhaust the rest of their timeouts. So that's number 3, and they're going to, the Comets again, just grind this puppy out now. And, you know, again, if you get a decent, if they get a first down, maybe one more first down, they should be able to run the clock out just fine.
Yeah, just got to keep ball control. You know, no mistakes, no big mental errors here, and they should be able to walk out with a win and a 4-0 record, which is huge in this shortened 6-game season.
Scott Totillo, though, I mean, you don't have a lot to be upset about. Some stuff you can clean up. But, you know, again, 6-game season and you move to 1-3. Now, here's the good part. Everybody's in the playoffs this year. So if Scott's team, you know, again, they can correct some things because they did a lot of things right tonight. But they also made bonehead plays at the wrong time. I mean, penalties at the wrong time, blowing their cool at the wrong time, and basically just putting the ball on the ground and making some mental errors. If you can clean some of that stuff up, I mean, even if they go into the playoffs as a middle-tier ranked team or a lower-ranked team, they could be dangerous because I tell you, with Engel and Ford, this team is scary.
And they definitely are. I mean, you know, still trying to figure out who the class of the GMC are, but Sycamore seems to keep pace with a lot of them pretty well, and on their best day seem to be able to keep pace with anyone. So even if they have to go into, you know, a hostile environment against some of these GMC teams or GCL teams, if they play their best football and keep their mistakes to a minimum, they can pretty much stay with anybody.
Yeah, they gave Princeton all they could handle down at Princeton, and again, went and rocked on Lakota East in week 1, and they're going to find themselves winless since week 1, but I don't think they're far off.
Yeah, and for Mason here, you know, once again, taking care of business. Another slow start, which is something, you know, they've been trying to fix over the last couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, 4-0 is 4-0, and you can get a couple favorable matchups early in the tournament and get yourself going. Who knows how far either of these teams can go. Mason trying to get a couple of yards, but looks like they might not have to run another play, have not reset the clock, and it looks like the last 20 seconds are going to run off the clock. Mason's going to come out here on a senior day victory. And Steve, they're going to get that trophy after a 21-13 victory.
Well, it stays where it belongs. It's been here now for the last couple of years. But, you know, Scott Totillo, your team has nothing to hang their heads about. They came out after getting spanked by probably the class of the league, Lakota West, last week, where they lost 33-0. They came out and they showed well tonight. I mean, 21-13 is nothing to hang your head about. Clean up a couple of problems. And I tell you, with Ford and with Engel, they could cause a lot of teams a lot of problems in the playoffs.
Yeah, and looking on the Mason side, Jackson Orlando all over the place. Noel McCormick, a couple big runs, and the Battle for the Skies trophy stays in Mason with the 21-13 victory. For Steve and Greg Miller behind the mics, for Josh Semsrott in the truck and everybody else in the truck and on the cameras, thank you so much for watching Friday Night Football here on ICRC TV. From Dwire Field in Mason, Ohio, thank you so much for watching Friday Night Football.
See you!